Tserreidnich's ability is a great counter against Halkenberg's arrow. I can see Togashi if he decided to do killing Halkenberg with the restriction of his Hatsu. Nah, that is legitimately amazing, and that's a very good point. Tserreidnich and Halkenberg, which I think is very cool too, is that Halkenberg notes specifically, especially he's very public about it, that Tserreidnich is the only prince that ever accepts him. Tserreidnich is the only prince that ever gives him the time of day. So it's interesting that these two characters might actually end up being the final two princes that oppose each other in the succession war. I could legitimately see that if Halkenberg's philosophy is able to not only defeat Benjamin in these next coming chapters, but defeat the other princes, while Tserreidnich takes out his own bit of princes or awakens to his full power of his Nen ability, which is just insane, by the way. Literally, genuinely insane. The reason why Tserreidnich like completely just disregards the letter from Kacho is because his focus is on Nen overriding literally all else. Like Tserreidnich and Halkenberg genuinely have like two Nen abilities that are so powerful they could genuinely defeat the other princes and genuinely have an amazing fight themselves. That is, who knows who would even win. To be fair, like, I don't blame Tserreidnich for like spending all of his time on Nen and saying fuck the banquets, fuck the succession war, fuck these letters, fuck even trying to make alliances and play politics. I'm going to beat everyone with my overwhelming strength, which, like, if he's not the Beyond Netero child, I mean, that is the most Beyond Netero thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, think about it. Locking in, just learning his Nen and his Guardian Beast as much as he can, the one that he made himself, just like Netero did when he learned the Bodhisattva, or Beyond did when Beyond spent 50 years trying to plan this expedition to conquer the Dark Continent. Like, he's got Netero aura. We know that Halkenberg is related to Unma and is actually Unma's true child. We know for sure that the two children of Unma, Benjamin and Halkenberg at least, got those, no offense, those fat ass fucking noses. Tserreidnich is now 100% the odd one out, even though I will say Halkenberg could potentially be the Netero child himself, because not only did he awaken to his Nen ability very quickly after locking in, Tserreidnich did too, but Halkenberg's ability is like, it ignores all conventional durability, all other Nen powers, and just is an instant win manipulation tactic. Whereas like Tserreidnich's future sight, whatever the hell you want to call it, is also the perfect counter to that, because Tserreidnich's future sight, it's so much like King Crimson. I had to write it down, and that diagram that Togashi draws is so beneficial, because if it wasn't for it, it's generally so confusing. Like, so basically he receives a premonition of about 10 seconds of the next 10 seconds going on. He closes his eyes. As soon as he activates his Zetsu and relaxes his body, he immediately is able to vision and see the next 10 seconds. Now, if he keeps his eyes closed and remains in Zetsu, he will remain 10 seconds ahead of the next second. So while time is moving in real time, he is already 10 seconds ahead of that. So let's say 5 seconds have passed from the moment that Tserreidnich enacted Zetsu and closed his eyes. He's now in the 15-second mark. The people that are around Tserreidnich are the people in life. So like, to give you an example, when Theta shot Tserreidnich in the head, when Tserreidnich was in Zetsu and his eyes closed, he was able to visualize and see the next 10 seconds, which showed him Theta putting the gun up and shooting Tserreidnich in the head. Tserreidnich, in that 10 seconds, in that 10-second vision, he can then, after that 10-second vision is up, in the seconds coming after that, from in between, like, so like second 11 to however long he's activating the ability, Tserreidnich is able to change the fate of what's happening in those next 10 seconds. So what he was able to do is Tserreidnich was able to then obviously not get shot by the bullet, move his way out. Theta shot him. As far as she knows, everything plays like normal. Everything plays like the original future that Tserreidnich viewed. However, what ends up happening is he changed fate. So while Theta thinks she killed Tserreidnich is actually standing right next to her, and that's when his Guardian Spirit Beast just obliterates her for the second time. That is genuinely one of the best possible abilities that could go into effect on someone like Halkenberg, whose Possession Arrow avoids all other Nen abilities. No defense Nen Hatsu, no offense Nen Hatsu could stand against Possession Arrow. It's just crazy, and they both have insanely powerful Guardian Spirit Beasts as well. Like, Halkenberg is able to, it's kind of funny too, because Halkenberg's Guardian Spirit Beast shows him who's truly loyal, because the people that are truly loyal not only retain the feather mark, but they get bestowed load with Nen power that sure makes them stronger, but Halkenberg can also recall to use his possession arrow. On the flip side, Tserreidnich's Guardian Spirit Beast, at least the one he got from the Succession War, makes sure that no one can lie to him, and if people lie to him, there are severe consequences that he's aware of. But also, Salkov, one of the hunters that are near Tserreidnich, also make a good point in that Tserreidnich's Guardian Spirit Beast is really good at emotionally manipulating people, because it makes really good, they can't lie to him. So if they're forced to work with him, they not only have to tell him the truth at every step of time, they constantly have blackmail going against them, because what if first you get that crazy scar that is just a diseased, disgusting, infected wound, the second time it knocks you out and gives you the warning that if you make a third mistake, you will literally become inhuman, which we haven't seen those effects yet, but holy shit. And also the Guardian Spirit Beast just has other powers it may as well, because it was able to immediately disperse Little Eye when Queen Oito was using it with Kurapika's Stealth Dolphin. It just immediately just destroyed that when it came by the vent. So it's protective. Now that may just be a factor of the stronger Nen Beast. It's able to literally just disperse lower spirits or lower Nen. I mean, even King Nasubi's, Guardian Spirit Beast protects him from a fired bullet. Genuinely speaking, these two characters make the most sense, because not only are they the strongest characters in the Succession War, the two strongest princes, in my opinion, besides, like, Benjamin and Camilla, who are both pretty strong. Camilla's got her own pretty OP Nen ability in Hatsu, but it seems like almost Tserreidnich and Halkenberg are meant to oppose each other, ironically being the two characters who always accepted each other and were always close to one another despite the craziness of the royal family. Tserreidnich also has just that other Guardian Spirit Beast that he made with his own power. Again, Tserreidnich believing that he can defeat the entire Succession War alone just by focusing on his Nen, fully and wholeheartedly believe that. Halkenberg, same thing. Halkenberg, using his Guardian Spirit Beast and Nen power combo, could take down the entire Succession War alone. That's why Benjamin is so worried about Halkenberg. And Tserreidnich is just the biggest wild card, because no one knows how fucking insane he is. Who cares if his crimes get announced and let's say the Justice Department goes after him? Tserreidnich is, let's say if they try to arrest him, Tserreidnich's gonna beat the fuck out of all of those guards that try to take him down, and that might just give Benjamin the need to enact martial law, and that might just drive us into this more active phase of the Succession War. But yeah, I think it's pretty clear Halkenberg and Tserreidnich are two characters that are very clearly set to oppose one another.